On a cold October night, the police found a wedding ring lying in the middle of an empty road. No blood, no body, just one message scratched into the metal. Love remembers everything. 3 days later, the woman who wore that ring vanished forever, and the only person who claimed to know the truth was her husband. Emily Carter believed she had found the kind of love people only read about in books. She met Daniel Brooks during a heavy rainstorm in Seattle. She had been stranded outside a bookstore when Daniel walked over silently, holding an umbrella above her head without saying a word. That small moment changed her life. Daniel was calm, handsome, intelligent, and strangely mysterious. He spoke softly, listened carefully, and made Emily feel seen in a way no one ever had before. Within months, they became inseparable. Friends envied their relationship. Family called them soulmates. And when Daniel proposed near the lake where they first kissed, Emily cried tears of happiness. The wedding photos looked perfect, but perfection hides things, sometimes terrible things. After getting married, Daniel convinced Emily to move into a large countryside home on Willow Lane, far from the city, surrounded by forest and silence. Emily loved it at first. The house was beautiful. Old wooden floors, large windows, a fireplace that crackled through the night. Felt peaceful, but slowly, strange things began happening. Emily started hearing footsteps upstairs when Daniel wasn't home. Doors opened by themselves. Lights flickered at exactly 2:13 a.m. every night. Then she found something terrifying, a photograph hidden inside the attic. It showed Daniel standing beside another woman. A woman wearing the exact same wedding ring Emily wore now. On the back of the photo were 3 words: "She trusted me." When Emily confronted Daniel, he smiled calmly and said the woman was his cousin. But something felt wrong, very wrong. That night, Emily searched Daniel's office while he slept downstairs. Inside a locked drawer, she found newspaper articles about a missing woman named Olivia Hart, the same woman from the photograph. Olivia had disappeared 4 years earlier. No suspects, no body, no answers. Emily's hands shook as she read the article. Olivia and Daniel had once been engaged. Then she vanished weeks before their wedding. Emily suddenly realized something horrifying. She looked exactly like Olivia. Same hair, same smile, same eyes. Almost like Daniel had chosen her on purpose. Rain pounded the windows violently. And sometime after midnight, Emily heard a voice, a woman crying softly beneath the floorboards. At first she thought she was imagining it. Then she heard it again. "Help me." Terrified, Emily followed the sound to the basement door. It was locked. Daniel appeared behind her suddenly, his face expressionless. "What are you doing down here?" he asked quietly. Emily forced a smile, but deep inside, fear consumed her. Because for the first time since meeting him, Daniel didn't look like the man she loved. He looked dangerous. The next morning, Emily secretly visited the local police station. She told Detective Harris everything. The photograph, the missing fiancé, the strange noises, the locked basement. But Harris didn't believe her. Daniel Brooks was respected in town. Rich, educated, charitable. People trusted him. And without evidence, Emily sounded paranoid. Before leaving, Detective Harris gave her one warning: be careful accusing the wrong person. Emily returned home feeling more alone than ever. But when she arrived, Daniel was waiting in the living room, sitting silently in darkness. "How was the police station?" he asked. Emily froze. She never told him where she went. That night, Emily pretended to sleep. Around 1:47 a.m., Daniel quietly left the bedroom. Emily followed him, barefoot, heart racing. He walked downstairs holding a lantern and unlocked the basement door. Emily waited until he disappeared below, then followed carefully behind. The basement smelled damp and rotten. At the far end of the room stood a metal door. Daniel opened it slowly. Emily peeked through the darkness and nearly screamed. Inside the hidden room were dozens of photographs. Every woman looked similar: dark hair, soft smile, brown eyes. And among the pictures, Emily saw Olivia, but there was something worse, far worse. A fresh grave had been dug beneath the concrete floor. Daniel finally noticed Emily standing there. For several seconds, neither of them moved. Then he sighed quietly. "I hoped you'd never see this." Emily backed away, trembling. Daniel stepped closer. "She was supposed to stay," he whispered. "Olivia lied to me. She tried leaving." His voice became colder. "She betrayed me." Emily realized the horrible truth. Olivia never disappeared. Daniel murdered her. And now Emily knew too much. Daniel reached into his pocket slowly. Emily thought he had a weapon. Instead, he pulled out her wedding ring box. "You were different," he said softly. "I truly loved you." Tears filled Emily's eyes, because part of her still loved him too. That was the terrifying part. Emily ran. Daniel chased her upstairs as thunder exploded outside. She locked herself inside the kitchen, desperately searching for help. No signal, no escape. Daniel began breaking through the door. In panic, Emily grabbed an oil lantern and threw it. Flames erupted instantly. The old house caught fire within seconds. Smoke swallowed the halls. Daniel stopped chasing her. Instead, he stood silently in the flames, staring at her, almost smiling. Then he said something Emily would never forget. "If I die, the truth dies with me." The ceiling collapsed. Emily escaped through a broken window, but Daniel never came out. Police searched the burned house for days. They discovered human remains beneath the basement floor. Olivia Hart had finally been found, but investigators uncovered something disturbing. The body discovered in the fire was not Daniel Brooks. It belonged to another unidentified victim. Daniel had vanished before the house collapsed, meaning he escaped, or someone helped him. Months later, Emily tried rebuilding her life in another city. But one rainy evening, she returned home and found a small package outside her apartment door. Inside was a photograph, a recent photograph, taken of Emily through her apartment window, and written on the back were the words, "Love remembers everything." Nobody ever saw Daniel Brooks again. Some believe he died in the fire. Others think he changed his identity and disappeared. But Emily still sleeps with the lights on, because sometimes late at night, she swears she hears footsteps outside her apartment door. Slow, patient, waiting. What do you think will happen next? Do will as to subscribe, like, comment, and share. For more videos like this,